Alright, this video is a total downer compared to the things that I've been talking about the past couple of days. It's not as funny as cancer, I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about what America has been doing to Mexico in their migration and asylum policies. So, if you don't know, a lot of people really don't, because this is one of those things like the Wet'suwet'en people and Unistoten that Twitter and other social media have been crashing these stories. I only know about it because I follow It's Going Down. So, here's the thing. Back in mid-January, there was a migrant caravan assembled in El Salvador. These people are not only from El Salvador, obviously. Actually, they aren't even all from South and Central America. There are a lot from the islands and even Africa. So what happened is this caravan got formed, and Trump made a deal with Mexico's President AMLO this is really depressing, to sic the National Guard on these people. Most of them had asylum papers, and right now they're in prison. They're in a detention camp in Mexico, because Mexico has those now. Yeah, if you didn't know, as part of a trade deal, AMLO decided to was forced to cave to Trump's pressure of enforcing stricter migration policies, which meant that usually in the past, if you were an asylum seeker who had your papers, you'd spend 1 or 2 days in an immigration processing facility and called Silo 21, and you would be on your way. You'd stay in Tapachula for a few days, and then you'd be free to stay in Mexico for a year. And during that year, you could come up to America if you wanted to. However, because of these new changes, you have to go through one of these migration facilities, which are now detention facilities, for 15 to 21 days. Then you have to find a way to get your papers renewed for another 15 to 21 days to stay in Tapachula, the city, where you can't even leave. That you can't even leave the city. You can't even go to Chiapas proper. You have to stay in Tapachula. So a lot of these people just stay in Silo 21. And I'm saying Silo 21 because I don't know the Spanish word for 21, but it's the 21st century. That's called Century 21. These people have been staying there, and because the caravan got wrecked by the National Guard almost as soon as they crossed the Mexican border, even though a lot of these people had their asylum papers signed, because a lot of humanitarian workers were giving these refugees asylum papers to sign so they couldn't be arrested. They were arrested anyway. So this is where we have to have a really hard conversation about American imperialism and how we just forced one of our biggest trading partners into the same xenophobic shit that we've been doing. We don't do this to Europeans. American culture hates Latinos and Africans so much that they forced another country to arrest these people en masse for legally seeking asylum. And it's not like Silo 21 is even like the detention centers that we have, which are already nightmarish. Silo 21 is racially segregated. If you are indigenous or black and in Silo 21, you're getting a fourth or less of the resources that white people are getting in there. And guess who there are more of there? So this is the reason why a lot of people who get processed through there now are too scared to even stay in Mexico for asylum, because CELO is one of the most dangerous not jails in North America. There are so many, because MS-13 has an incredibly strong hold there, because it's only meant for 900 people, and whenever a migrant caravan hits, it's like 3,000. So when there are so many people coming in, they can't tell, like, they can't process that there are some gang members in there. So there's a lot of gang violence in those prisons. There's a lot of drug overdoses, and guess whose fault that is? America's. So this is incredibly awful, and I'm going to be leaving some links in the description for Tapachula Solidarity, which is the organization that helps a lot of these people who are in migrant caravans, who are hoping to assemble a migrant caravan. I'm going to be leaving a link to their GoFundMe. I'm going to be leaving a link to the It's Going Down article I mentioned earlier. I highly recommend that you donate if you can. These people really need help. And what's getting worse is that the people in CELO are being denied asylum lawyers now, and they're being denied humanitarian workers. They're being denied medical care. They're being denied faith care. They're being denied spiritual care. Like, priests can't even go in there now. Which, yeah, if you think that sounds illegal, yeah, it is. And this is because of American imperialism. There's no two ways about it, because America is, like I said, is so scared of Latinos and Africans entering our country even more than they already do, that we just do whatever possible to make sure that these people don't enter, no matter how bad those conditions are. I know that this is kind of depressing, and I've done like at least 3 streams about this, but like I said, this gets covered by all the social media. So, like I said, links in the description. Please donate if you can, and I will see you tomorrow with hopefully something a little bit less depressive. Solidarity to the migrants. I hope you make it up here safe, because I know that you left where you're coming from for a reason.